Want to look leaner and be stronger? Then check out the Nuva Bar. It actually helps you work out. The Nuva Bar is the compact, lightweight way to regain freedom and balance. It targets your lower body, upper body, abs, and core without getting down on the floor. Best of all, the Nuva Bar is now on sale for just $99.99 plus free shipping and comes with interchangeable resistance bands with 7 full workouts. So if you want a trimmer waistline to look like you're 40 in your 60s, get the Nuva Bar and forget about crunches on the floor. Go to NuvaBar.com. That's NuvaBar.com.
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Host of the Bad Friends podcast and comedian Andrew Santino is coming to the Pantages Theater in February. Tickets for his newly added February 21st, 9:30 p.m. show are on sale now. For full details, head over to KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
You know, I was just thinking that if you were to sell the initials game to Hasbro, you could take some time off, relax, and just watch TV a lot.
Well, if anybody is listening and wants to make me an offer that I can't refuse. That was the end of my sentence.
Give you some time to relax, watch TV. You don't get a lot of time to do.
So that's something that Abbott said to me a lot back in the day is all you do is watch TV. I was just did I just say this to you this morning? John and I had this exact conversation this morning.
The active watching versus just background noise.
I have a television or a radio or a podcast on almost all day. I cannot sit in silence. I hate that weird, uncomfortable feeling. So I'm constantly watching The Office or Parks and Rec or something in the background, but not actually sitting and watching it. I bet my active watching where I'm sitting and doing nothing but watching TV is 2 hours or less a week. And that's not an exaggeration.
Preposterous Statement Tournament Award winner, Corey Cove.
Now, in my 20s, it was the opposite. It was 7-8 hours a day because I had nothing to do. Now it's 2 hours a week, maybe, tops.
I know the silence thing. Same reason why I won't drive with Tennessee to Grandview. 2.5 hour drive. It's uncomfortable silence. So I have to keep talking and talking.
Just put on the fan.
But as you guys know, when you get kids, I'm busy. I don't have time to just sit down and watch 7 straight hours unless they're out of town or something like that. But otherwise, it's...
Just watch a movie. Like we said, Tombstone or Unforgiven.
I know, I should watch them both. I really should.
You've not seen either one?
Neither one.
Oh, they're both tremendous.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
It ain't a regular show, but they're very good.
Not much is.
Yeah.
As always, you can watch the second half of Program Password at KFAN.com/watch. While we're talking about that, I just want to thank Zach Halverson, Nick Madden. They do a great job every week.
Yes, they do.
With the stream at KFAN.com/watch. You can also watch it back on KFAN's YouTube channel. And also want to thank Mark Landis, who does all our statistics. He's just a rube who just wanted to keep all of our stats together for Program Password.
That's amazing.
He's a big reason why we have all our stats that we do. So thanks to him.
Now my bubble's been bursting. I thought that was you doing that all this time.
I did start off keeping records.
Yeah.
So I was going to do that. And then he went a whole nother level.
Wow. Love it.
Has a massive spreadsheet and can tell me who's done, the fact that you and Corey are 4-1 together as a team. That's all him.
I like
so.
Good for him.
Appreciate his help. Creasel and Carly lead Common and Corey 48-38. We are playing to 80. Let's have Corey and Creasel take a look at the iPad, please. The password is candle. It's on you, Corey. Down 10 points. You've got the option. Would you like to go first or second?
First.
That was very quick. Corey and Common to tie the game. This one for 10.
Wick.
Candle.
I've had a theory for a while that the first one after halftime is always just a layup to get the game back and close.
Yep, I've said that exact same thing.
Scripted drive.
Tennessee knows how to
I'm amazed you answered candle so quickly because when I thought of wick, I thought of your golf course. The wick.
Oh,
yeah.
I love the wick.
I don't. Maybe that coming from you as a clue.
Yeah.
But I don't think from Corey.
All right, we got a tie ball game. It's 48-48. Let's have Carly and Common take a look at the iPad. The password is brown. All right, we're doing the possession arrow again. It's now back on Carly and Creasel. So, Carly, we're tied 48-48. You have the option here. What would you like to do, first or second? 5 seconds.
Second.
All right, Common and Corey for 10.
Cleveland.
Guardian.
Carly and Creasel for 9.
Color.
Browns.
Well done.
Thank you.
I didn't know what other clue to give. I was hoping
it's
you'd
tough.
take one of those
You had to
guesses.
choose Guardian, Cavaliers, Browns.
I just thought you might go, but then
33% chance.
yeah, that's what I figured because I didn't know what other clue for Brown.
It's a hard word.
Yeah,
Unless someone's name.
Poop.
James.
poop.
Wanted to say that.
Charlie.
Ooh, it's, yeah.
Yeah,
No, but there's a lot of Charlies.
Yeah.
Could be hustle.
yeah.
Early hustle.
Yeah.
It's 57-48. Creasel and Carly just 23 points away from a victory. Corey and Creasel, take a look at the iPad. The password is keep. On you, Corey, we're down 9. Shouldn't say we. I'm not on your team. You are down 9. You have the option. You want to go first or second?
Let's try first.
All right, to regain the lead, Corey and Common for 10.
Save.
Goal.
Creasel and Carly for 9.
Hold.
You got it.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Buzzer beater.
Stop.
Greasy.
Stop.
Good one.
My heart.
I thought it was your back.
Oh, God.
Creasel and Carly now with the biggest lead since it was 29-0. It's 66-48. They lead by 18. They're 14 away from a win.
There's the jinx.
Carly and Common, take a look at the iPad. The password is fever. All right, Common, you're down 18. The big decision here. You want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
All right, Common and Corey for 10.
Temperature.
Heat. Man.
Carly and Creasel for 9.
Cowbell.
More.
All right.
Common and
you
Corey
get
for
it?
8.
Mercury.
Fever.
I got a fever.
Fever.
I got a fever.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Great impression.
The only prescription
It's an SNL
pretty good
bit.
is
one.
cowbell.
But I know that it's
sorry.
the more call. No, it's fine.
Yeah, I do.
We're all right, Carly. We're
Yeah,
all
we're
right.
good. We're good.
We're
The
good.
last time I watched Saturday Night Live, it was Belushi, Aykroyd, Rodner. That's all it's been for me.
10-point game. Creasel and Carly lead 66-56. Corey and Creasel, take a look at the iPad. The password is mix.
What's the score?
You saw it?
66-56. Down 10, so you can tie it up here, Corey. You have the option. What do you want to do, first or second?
First.
All right, to tie the game, Corey and Common for 10.
Stir.
Mix.
Yes.
Great.
I was going to say,
Good one.
I was going to say spoon.
Sex. It's going to be
I thought it
interpreted
was
as.
as well.
Oh, what a game.
Yeah.
Tie game. Here we
What
go.
a game.
Stir it with a spoon.
It's tied again at 66-66. Both teams are 14 points away from victory. Carly and Common, take a look at the iPad. The password is Captain. I think this is the most possession arrows we've ever had. I believe it's now back on Common and Corey. So, Common, you have the option here. Tie game. Do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
All right. To regain the lead, Common and Corey for 10.
America!
No idea.
It's a terrible clue.
Carly and Creasel for 9.
You got Carly to laugh.
It's a terrible clue. Sorry.
General.
Patton.
Common and Corey for 8.
Marvel.
Captain.
I was like, Captain America.
okay.
Stupid stuff.
Got it.
If I would have said Sparrow, I was going to do Captain Jack
Yeah.
Sparrow.
That's.
Well, I was
that's better,
going to
but-
say Bly. Wasn't it Captain Bly?
That wouldn't have got
See,
me
but
there.
that's why I didn't know if it was.
I only know Dre Bly, former cornerback in the National Football League. All right. It's 74-66. So Common and Corey, any correct answer, 6 or more, you win. Creasel and Carly, you still need 14. Corey and Creasel, take a look at the iPad. The password is safety. All right, Crease. Down 8. The option's on you. It's decision time. You want to go first or second? Five seconds.
First.
Ooh. All right, Creasel and Carly to regain the lead. This one for 10.
Bynum.
Joe.
Corey and Common for 9 in the win.
Cornerback.
Cam.
Creasel and Carly for 8.
Defensive.
Position.
Corey and Common for 7 and the win.
Harrison.
Safety.
Yes.
They win.
That was a battle.
That was. Respect.
Yes. What a beautiful game.
Yeah. That was, yeah.
What a beautiful
That was
game,
fun.
guys.
That was a beautiful game.
Well
You
done.
guys
I'm
played well.
exhausted.
I know.
I am
don't
so
smoke, but I need a
tired.
cigarette.
You like do speeches, inspirational?
I do.
Oh, yeah. What if someone wants to be inspired? What do
They
do?
should go to johncreasel.com, put in a request, and my beautiful wife will contact you to get it on the calendar.
Could have used one of those at halftime today.
Yeah. johncreasel.com.
Let's say you're having
Yeah.
substance
Just go to
abuse.
just listen to the Here We Go podcast.
Yeah, okay.
You're good.
And if you're looking, you got the family coming over, and you want to have spend some play games like a charades or something.
Yeah,
Any
yeah.
ideas?
Yeah, Ticket to Ride's a good game. Balderdash, Trivial Pursuit, Cranium. There's a lot of good games.
Do you like Scrabble?
Love it.
Scrabble's my favorite.
Love Scrabble.
Play. I love it to play. I can't play with my wife because she doesn't like play for blood. You ever play with any of your partners? Don't give them triple word score.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Don't do that.
Just put it up on a platter. What are
Yeah.
you doing? You can't give me a shot at that.
I would like to thank all of you for coming in.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for coming in.
Always
You
love
bet.
it.
Have a great weekend. That's Carly, Creasel, and Cove. We'll take a break and come back. Tenneby's got a keyword, I think.
Yes, the fan wants to give you a shot to put $1,000 in your hand with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword check at KFAN.com now for your shot at winning. The keyword is check. Enter now, KFAN.com.
Want to look leaner and be stronger? Then check out the Nuva Bar. It actually helps you work out. The Nuva Bar is the compact, lightweight way to regain freedom and balance. It targets your lower body, upper body, abs, and core without getting down on the floor. Best of all, the Nuva Bar is now on sale for just $99.99 plus free shipping and comes with interchangeable resistance bands with 7 full workouts. So if you want a trimmer waistline to look like you're 40 in your 60s, get the Nuva Bar and forget about crunches on the floor. Go to nuvabar.com. That's NUVABAR.com.
One Dark Star Memorial for you today. It says, "Hi, Common. I'm just reaching out in regards to our dog Piper, who has passed away due to kidney failure. She was 13 and a half years old and could still get up and run around like she was a 2-year-old puppy. She was one of the most kind and gentle golden retrievers and one of the best family dogs you could ever ask for. My wife and I have 2 children together, and Piper was there for both of them, and she always slept in my son Robbie's room every night and made sure that she was always watching over our kids. She loved to go for walks and roll around in the fresh snow every time she got the chance. If you could send a message to Dark, let him know Piper's favorite toy was a stuffed soccer ball. Maybe he can throw one around for her. And there you go. Your Dark Star Memorial for today. We just had one for you. I wish I knew how to get Golf Channel out, Tennessee. I was looking at the leaderboard, and it's got these little red marks next to Frankie's name and the two people he's playing with. Does that mean they're the featured group? They wouldn't be featuring at the Farmers Open. They wouldn't be featuring Frankie and a couple of unknowns, would they? I mean, he's playing really
Probably
well.
not, but I heard a lot of the big names backed out of this tournament, right?
Yeah, a number of big names backed out.
There just might not be a lot of big names, period.
Frankie Capan. You've heard me talk about him before. Craig Warrion, master professional. We text and talk more than most people know. He's in the Minnesota Golf Hall of Fame. He's a instructor for the Bird Golf Academy. He's been working with Frankie since he was like 3. Frankie's got a tour card now. So this is his third event. He's made the cut all 3. Made $25,000 to just shy of $25,000 in his first tournament. He made $169,400 last week, and now he made the cut line by a stroke, so it's not as though he's near the top. But he's going to make another check. Let's say he makes another $50,000. Tend to be that's $250,000 in 3 weeks.
It's not bad.
That's a pretty good chunk of change.
It's a pretty good gig if you can get it.
Hey, how would you like to play golf? We'll pay you 3 weekends in a row. We'll pay you $250,000. What do you think?
I'd say yes, please.
I think a lot of people would do that. So best of luck to Frankie the rest of the way in this tournament and in his career. You could take these. I don't know who Evan Sidery is. Have you ever heard the name Evan Sidery?
Who?
Yeah, I've not either.
No.
This is one of those.
Is he a golfer in Frankie Capan's group?
It could very well be. It's somebody who is Evan Sidery is a insider, I guess, in the National Football League. In the National Basketball Association. This is the tweet he had, and take it for what it's worth. Rival executives, so I don't know if that means he's been talking to them or whatever the case may be. Rival executives believe the Timberwolves will be seeking a Julius Randle trade before the deadline for a better on-court fit along Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert. Randle has a $30.9 million player option for next season. Many around the NBA are expecting him to pick up. I've got a trade idea for him. Was a one and done at Kentucky a long time ago. Big guy, like 7 foot. One of the best 3-point shooting big men that I've ever seen. Might be the best in the league. Can rebound. Can play defense when he wants to, or if the matchup is right. He's playing in New York right now. I think he goes by the name of Bodega Cat. I think it's Karl Anthony Towns. They had him right here. They had a guy that worked very well with Gobert. Well enough to get him to the Western Conference Finals last year. I don't know if there's anything to this report.
Already buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
3 months later?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if there's anything to this. And, remember, sometimes I guess this is what a lot of people are telling me. If you'll remember, you know me, I just like getting people going. I think the Wolves may have lost like the first game of the season. I said, well, a lot of good that trade did, and I said, relax, let it gel. And then I did ask seriously, well, how long is this gelling process supposed to take? And many of the listeners that texted me on the Bradshaw and Brian KFAN text line said, well, you got to give it 20, 25 games. Well, here we are. And it's not like they're an awful basketball team. I mean, if the playoffs were to start today, I think we would be in that 7, 8, 9, 10 play-in thing. We're certainly not in the playoffs right now. We'd have to earn our way into the top 8. It's certainly, I think when a team, like for instance, with the Vikings, I would expect there'll be high expectations next year, right? For the season they had this year, 14-3, they had a 9-game winning streak. Defense was really good. B-Flow gets a lot of the credit. There was some panic. He might be leaving. Doesn't look like he's leaving now. Still could happen. There's still openings out there, but sort of seems like maybe B-Flow is going to be here, so that'd be good. The quarterback situation, even though it's unsettled, it's not awful. I mean, we could bring Darnold back. I know he had the 2 bad games, but he seems like he's figured it out a little bit. We got the rookie waiting once he gets over his knee injury. And then if you do believe that O'Connell is a quarterback whisperer, maybe they can get something out of Danny Jones. And, I know they need to reconnoiter the middle of that offensive line and get some defensive backs, but they got money under the cap. So the Vikings are in a pretty good spot right now, right? The Twins, coming off of the year before when they won their first playoff series in 18 tries, where they were 0-18. That wouldn't be just 0-18 in games. They finally won a playoff game and actually won a series. Expectations were high, and we saw what happened, and now we're back to $130 million payroll, and the team looks like we had that collapse last year. Wild, again, I guess you kind of almost take them out of the equation for right now, just because we're still waiting to see what happens. I mean, they got off to a great start this year, and it looks like a nice season, but we still have that the Parisi Suter thing. So expectations were high for the Wolves, and they should be, and everybody trusted this GM. He's brilliant. Look what he did He built Denver and won a title with Denver. He makes the trade for Gobert. A lot of people were wondering if that would work. Went to the Western Conference Finals last year. Made some other key trades, and things look good. Then you make the trade, so I think just people's expectations. So even though we're a couple of games over 500, I don't know what to think, and I don't know if I'm not suggesting it's all on Randle, but I would think that would be the move they would want to make if they were going to make one, right?
Yes.
And whether that comes to fruition or not remains to be seen. But the deadline, the trade deadline in the NBA is a long way off. It's not for. Is it February or March, I think? I'm not paying as close to the NBA trade deadline as I once did, but I think it's sometime in February.
Well, it's February 6th, which is not that far away.
Oh, yeah, I guess it isn't. So it isn't that far away now. February 6th, early February. Yeah, so we're looking, what are we?
We're less than 2 weeks away.
We 24th right now?
Yes, January 24th.
Well, there you go. Yeah, so it is much closer than I thought. Well, so
yes, 13 days away.
Well, we'll find out if anything does happen, or if they'll just, as BTO once sang, just let it ride. That'll be interesting to see. Tennessee, other side of the break, I got a Viking note for you, and then we may as well talk a little NFC, AFC championship games. You'll hear them both on the Fan. Is that correct? We're going to have them both on Sunday.
I would think so.
Unless we have some kind of a conflict with a Wild, but...
Well, do we have Wild at Chicago versus Chicago at night?
At night. And those games will be afternoon games, so I would assume we'll be able to catch... is it 2 o'clock start and 5 o'clock start?
The AFC Championship game, Chiefs versus Bills, will be on KFAN+.
Perfect. Very good. We'll take a break, come back with more here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
Want to look leaner and be stronger? Then check out the Nuva Bar. It actually helps you work out. The Nuva Bar is the compact, lightweight way to regain freedom and balance. It targets your lower body, upper body, abs, and core without getting down on the floor. Best of all, the Nuva Bar is now on sale for just $99.99 plus free shipping and comes with interchangeable resistance bands with 7 full workouts. So if you want a trimmer waistline to look like you're 40 in your 60s, get the Nuva Bar and forget about crunches on the floor. Go to nuvabar.com. That's NUVABAR.com.
Grain in Your Hand is back on KFAN. We have 9 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday. That's every hour from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. To enter the keywords and learn more, head to KFAN.com.
Well, I'm in the area where there's all sorts of sports, but I can't find Golf Channel. I'm on the 2023 Farmers Insurance, but we're looking for the 2025.
I don't think you're on Xfinity right now.
I'm on something.
You're just on the TV.
Well, it's given me everything. It's given me... I don't know. Now, why would somebody be calling me? Maybe it's the call I've been waiting my entire life for. I'm waiting for a call. Someday I'm going to get a call. I'm not sure who it's from, when it's coming, what it's going to be about, but it is going to change my life. I was looking at another one of those aggregate Twitter accounts or whatever they're called, tend to be, and they're talking about the Vikings, about what they might do with the roster. They had a category called Cut Candidates.
Yeah.
Garrett Bradbury, Ed Ingram, and Brian Asamoah.
Well, I think Ed Ingram is pretty obvious.
Right.
Given he got pulled halfway through the season for Dalton Reisner. Yeah, I don't see Ed Ingram returning.
Brian Asamoah.
Asamoah?
Asamoah, is that how you say it?
Yeah, he's just basically just turned into a special teams guy. He barely even gets on the field on defense.
Bradbury, think he's done?
Well, I would have to know what his contract situation is right now. I don't know. I mean, they have multiple spots on the offensive line they have to fill. I don't know if you can fill all of them in one off season. So,
leverage into pay cut. Brandle, is it Brandel or Brandel?
Like
Brandel, CJ Ham, Josh Oliver. Now, I thought I saw Oliver's do like $9 million.
Yeah, he ain't going to make that again.
That's not a chance.
No.
So you say, hey, sniff around for a better offer. We can't give you a 9. We'll bring you back at 1.2 or 2, whatever the number would be. For 4.8, I don't know what number they would give him, what his value would be. And CJ Ham, he's one of us, and we love him. But again, I don't know. Do you think these guys are all valuable enough that the Vikings take them, but they're going to say, you got to come back for a lot less money?
I mean, CJ Ham's always going to be a cut candidate just because the fullback position is kind of a dying breed in the NFL. There's not a lot of offenses, right? So it's not like if you went out in the free agent market, there's a bunch of teams dying to get CJ Ham just because there's so many teams that don't even use a fullback. So he doesn't have a huge market, which makes it easier to try to leverage money out of him.
Right.
But he's valuable. Not only from a blocking standpoint for your running back and your offensive line backing them up, but he also does some special team stuff for you.
This category is restructures, and in parentheses, no pay cut. So you're going to restructure these guys' contracts, probably spread it out a little bit more, front load, back load, whatever they do this. Hawkinson, Grenard, Phillips, and Cashman. And that's if Harrison Phillips. So Cashman, Phillips, Grenard, and Hawkinson. I think you want all those guys back, and you probably want to restructure their deal.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not going to act like I'm a capologist.
Right.
I would say if you're restructuring Grenard's, how does he not get a raise out of it?
Well,
would be my question.
Yeah. And then deserving of a new contract, Brian O'Neill, right tackle. And probably so, right? Even though I know that he had his issues in that Rams game and as well, but it wasn't all on him. He's been very, very good for the Vikings. Those grades throughout the year, he's as good as it gets. So
those bookend tackles.
Yeah. So those are some of the decisions the Vikings will have to make, and those seem to be
That's on top of all the free agents they have.
Yeah, right. And that sounds
they got a lot leaving for free agency.
That sounds like those are logical. Those are logical, cut candidates, leverage into pay cut restructures and deserving new contracts. Those seem to be pretty close to what you would expect the Vikings are going to have to decide. NFC, AFC. NFC game is the early game. Washington, 6 seed at Philly, the 2 seed. I had a theory last week that where Washington would have their trouble against the Motor City Kitties would be running the football or stopping the run. Because if you believe in those, defensive rankings, against the rush, against the pass, this, that, that, Washington's had all sorts of trouble stopping the run. They're like 30th against the run. And
this is not the team you want to play.
Well, yeah, in Detroit, I didn't think you'd want either on a fast track, as good as Gibbs has been. And Gibbs had a nice game for Detroit. I mean, he played really well. They brought Demo back, and he just didn't seem like he had. I think, I mean, obviously he was healthy enough to play, but he didn't look like the running back that we'd seen for most of the year before the injury. So the running game, I guess Washington fared pretty well, but it's a whole different level now, right? I mean, Barkley, these numbers that I saw, how many yards did he have versus the Rams? I must have done I don't think I wrote this down right. How many yards did he have against the Rams? It was
200, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think it was well over 2 because he had 2 really long runs. Over the past 4 games, he's averaging over 160 yards a game over the last 4. Against Washington in the 2 games.
Yes, 205 yards against the Rams.
205, yeah, I thought I read that. I wrote 305, and I knew that couldn't be right. Over the past 4 games, he's averaged over 160 yards. And in the 2 games versus Washington this year, he's totaled 296 yards, averaging 5.4 yards a carry. So they've had their trouble stopping him. You don't want to oversimplify things, but the way Barkley ran for over 2,000 yards this year, and he's showing no signs of slowing down or any wear or tear. I mean, that's not going to be the only factor in the game. You know, as we know, tend to be big plays, turnovers, blah, 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 all the cliches. But unless something changes dramatically with Philadelphia's running game and Washington finds a way to stop the run, I just think Philadelphia's going to have. Now, it hurts with the knee. You know, I would think that would limit his mobility. I think he was. How'd they say that in practice? He was. What is it when you're just a part-time participant? They got
limited.
Yeah,
limited.
I think he was limited, is what I saw. I could be wrong. That's what I thought I saw. So that could make a difference. But with the way Barkley runs and as Washington has been, I don't want to oversimplify, but I just find I would love to see Washington win. And Daniels would have to have a monster game, right? He'd have to play like
and he's capable of it.
And he is.
So Saquon, the first time the Eagles played the Rams back in November, he had 26 carries, 255 yards, 2 touchdowns. They obviously went right back to that well again in the playoff game where he had 26 carries, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns. So he had 460 yards in 2 games against the Rams here. Washington.
He had almost 300.
November 14th, yes. 26 carries, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns. In the second game on December 22nd, 29 carries, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns.
So 296, averaging 5.4 a carry.
So Washington's going into knowing we know the game plan. We know what they're going to do. And it might just be one of those, right? Like Washington didn't necessarily, they forced turnovers against Detroit, but it's not like they were slowing them down all the time. But they just outscored them. Yeah. Their offense was at another level, and that's probably what Washington's going to have to do here. They're going to have to win a shootout.
Or somehow shut down Barkley, which doesn't seem possible, right? The way he's been playing, the way they've been defended against him. That'd be
you're probably not going to shut him out, and it's easier said than done. You just got to be opportunistic like you were against Detroit and just force over. You got to punch a ball out here. You got to pick, tip a ball at the line of scrimmage that turns into an interception here. Like, you just got to be opportunistic.
Let's go back to the bit I beat into the ground earlier this week about being shocked about, the headline. Every headline I saw was, Washington shocks Detroit, stuns Detroit. Nobody can believe it. Would you feel the same way here if Washington, after everything we just talked about, how dominant the run game has been for Philly and how Washington's had trouble stopping the run, in particular against Barkley, would you be shocked or stunned if Washington won the game?
No, I think I might pick them to win.
Really?
I think it's definitely going to be closer than that 6-point spread. I like Washington. I think people are dismissing them because, one, Washington's been bad for really, right? You're going off of past pedigree, you're going off of past history. And then, two, he's a rookie quarterback, so people just assume the rookie quarterback's not going to be able to hold up in a big moment. But when I watch Jaden Daniels, I don't watch a rookie quarterback. I don't watch a guy who's nervous in the pocket or making awful throws occasionally, the dangerous, reckless throws that Caleb Williams would make occasionally. Like, he is as cool, calm, and composed in the pocket as any quarterback in football. He looks like a top 5 quarterback to me, and you can win with a top 5 quarterback in the playoffs. So, and I think they got a good vibe going into this week.
I think you've summed it up quite well, because rookie quarterbacks I don't think have ever gotten this deep. Maybe they've gotten to a conference championship game. I don't think a rookie quarterback has ever quarterbacked a team into a big game. I know Marino, I think, was in his second year when he got Miami there. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Burrow,
wrong.
wasn't it? Was Burrow in his second year too?
Yeah, but I don't think
his third year.
I don't think, and I could be wrong. Maybe somebody that's paying closer attention to these kinds of things than I am. I don't think a rookie quarterback has ever made it to the big game. So this would be a first. AFC. I don't want to be that guy that says, "Well, until you beat Kansas City, until Buffalo can beat them in the postseason, until you can do it, they're still the best." But they just. I don't know what it is. I know that Kansas City has seemed more vulnerable this year. They haven't dominated like they have in the past. They have a lot of one-score wins. They had their back against the wall a couple of times. Probably should have lost a couple of games that they won. But tend to be, as we've talked about for the last 4, 5, 6, however many weeks it's been, it seems as though they just. Once it comes time to get serious, they seem to let teams hang around, but once it's time to get serious, they just say, flip the old switch, and they find ways to win. They went 15-2, and one of the losses, they gave it away. They rested everybody. That was that last game of the season that they lost 38-0 because they didn't start Mahomes, Kelsey. Yeah. Nobody started. And so, and I know Buffalo, obviously, there, and Josh Allen has maybe had as good a season as a quarterback has had in a long time. He's probably going to win the MVP award. I just don't know if it's enough. Does the venue make a difference? I think it does. I think them playing at Kansas City is certainly a bonus, but I don't think that's the be-all, end-all. I mean, Kansas City, when they beat Buffalo and when there was 13 seconds to go, was that at Buffalo?
That was at Kansas City.
That was at Kansas City.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but I still think that I'd rather be at home, and I think that makes a slight difference, but I just don't think Buffalo, even playing at Buffalo, is going to win. I'd like Kansas City better. Do you like Buffalo or KC in this game? I know KC is one of your three favorite teams.
I'm rooting for Kansas City. I think Buffalo's going to win this one. They were the better team when these two teams met in the regular season. Now that game was at Buffalo as opposed to Kansas City. I get it, but it was a 9-point game, and I thought Buffalo was just kind of clearly the better team in that game. I think people give Josh Allen and the Bills like the stigma of not being able to win the big one, but I've already mentioned you just mentioned the game where Buffalo, was right in it. Josh Allen was brilliant in that game. He's had a brilliant playoff performance in Kansas City before. They were the better team earlier in this season. It's the only team that's actually really beaten Kansas City. As you mentioned, the other Chiefs' loss was against their backups. I just think this is Josh Allen's time. He's the best player in football, and he's due to break through at some point. And this is obviously a good Chiefs team, but I don't know if it's a dominant Chiefs team. They really haven't put like a super impressive performance together all year. So I think Buffalo's going to win this one. I think they're going to go on the road and sneak it out.
Somebody texts me and says Big Ben made it to the big game at age 23 as a rookie. And,
I think that's right. Yep.
And so it has been done. So my bad. Let me ask you a question. Let's say Kansas City were to beat Buffalo and then win another big game, win 3 in a row. Is that 4 then with Mahomes?
Yes.
And let's say postseason play, they get in there again next year. Would you be rooting for Kansas City again to win a 5th and then a 6th and then a 7th? Would there ever come a time where you'd go, boy, I'd like to see somebody else win? You don't. You love Jordan. You love Mahomes.
I did love Jordan.
Yeah.
I did love Tiger Woods.
Yep.
I wanted Tiger Woods to win every golf tournament. Yep. I don't think I'm necessarily, hey, here's the best team and I want them to keep winning it over and over person. As long as Kansas City, and I would imagine as long as Pat Mahomes is the quarterback, they would be doing this. As long as they play a fun, entertaining, creative style of football, I will root for it. That's why I'm drawn to them. That's why I like them, because I think they're fun to watch. Not every team is like that. The Philadelphia Eagles, if they won 6 big games in a row, I don't like their style of play. I find it boring. I find the tush-push a boring play to do.
I hope Buffalo drills Kansas City. I hope they run them right out of the stadium.
Sure.
I hope it's 33-0 at half. I'm so tired of Mahomes and Kelsey and Tay and Andy Reid and Save, Boondele. I'm tired of it.
The only team I'm cheering against here is Philadelphia. If Buffalo makes it to the big game, I would definitely cheer for them. I can cheer for them.
I got another. It's lazy list radio. We're in victory formation now. This is one of those CBS sports stories. 2025 NFL playoffs, ranking 10 most important non-quarterbacks that are left in the playoffs right now.
10 most important non-quarterbacks?
Non-quarterbacks, 10 most important.
Saquon Barkley.
That is number one.
Yeah.
Who do you think they have at number 2?
Let's do Chris Jones.
That is correct.
Oh, really?
You are correct. There's 2 for 2 now. It ding, ding, ding. Who's number 3?
Let's go James Cook.
He's on the list, but he's not a 3. Same team as
Travis Kelce?
Yes, Travis Kelce at number 3.
I mean, I'm not going to be able to name a ton of defensive players on these teams.
Well, defensive player, number 4, Philadelphia Eagles. Defensive tackle, Jalen Carter.
Oh, yeah. He had the big play at the end of the Rams game. Sacked Matthew Stafford.
Number 5, Kansas City Chiefs defensive end, George
Karlaftis.
Yep, he's there. And they have an explanation for each one of these. I'm not planning to run them. Then that's James Cook at number 6 for Buffalo. Nolan Smith, another defensive end, Philadelphia Eagles. Trent McDuffie, cornerback. And I think he would be important with as well as Allen can throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
A.J. Brown, wide receiver, Philadelphia Eagles at number 9.
He's had kind of a weird season. They had the little thing where it seemed like him and Jalen Hurts weren't getting along. There were reports about them not getting along. And then last 2 weeks of the season, they had a breakout game and basically, you guys don't know what you're talking about. And intentionally sought Jalen out.
Right.
And then he had a playoff game where he was reading a book full of inspirational quotes. So it's been a interesting A.J. Brown season.
And then number 10 would be the Washington wideout.
Terry McLaurin?
Yeah, as at 10. And again, there's probably other players. I'm not going to pretend to know every guy in each roster, but those seem to be 10 pretty important players, non-quarterback ones, that could really make a difference in the game. Because I do think Buffalo's got to be able to run the ball a little bit. Even the last game they won, who did Buffalo just beat?
Just beat Baltimore.
I don't think I made this. I make a lot of mistakes when I'm studying, reciting quotes or winning streaks or losing streaks. After 3 quarters, Josh Allen had thrown for 95 yards. Now they were winning, and he was running the ball, and they were moving the ball, but 95 yards in the air, and they ended up still winning the game. So I think they're going to have to probably do a little bit better than that against Kansas City. I don't think they're going to get away with throwing for 95 yards over 3 quarters.
Probably not.
A chance to win the game, but
probably not the blueprint.
I think it's going to be Kansas City and Philadelphia.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm rooting for Buffalo, Washington. A rematch of that big game back here. I talked about it with Rosen yesterday. Worst case scenario for Buffalo. Well, not worst case. Worst case would be they lose this one. Of course, it wouldn't, because maybe worst case would be to lose in the big game and then to lose to Philadelphia. Because that would mean they would have lost, of their 5 Super Bowls, all 5 of them would be lost to NFC East teams. Twice to Dallas, once to Washington, once to the Giants, and then once to Philadelphia.
I do wonder if Vikings fans would cheer for Buffalo in a big game or cheer against them because of. Do you want to have a team that has lost more big games than
most
you?
Fans would rather have.
Or do you want to be like, hey, if they can break through, we can break through as well. The curse is broken.
I think fans that are emotionally stable would root for Buffalo. Ones that aren't, a lot of the Viking fans out there.
So 90% of the fans will not root for them.
Hold on, and give yourself a rim shot there. Because even I don't expect people to approach sports like I do, but I've stated on numerous occasions when the Lions went 0-10, I wanted them to lose their last 6 games to go to 0-16. I thought biblically bad was better. Can't be historically good, be biblically bad. Teneby, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. Great job. We thank Carly, Cove, and Creasel for coming in today, too. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday, 12 noon. Stick around, though. Don't touch that dial. Big Ticket, JG, they are next. Right here on The Fan.
Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon. And good night, Minnesota. And good night, folks. And
Good night, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are.
I'm a fraud.
Yes.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
Want to look leaner and be stronger? Then check out the Nuva Bar. It actually helps you work out. The Nuva Bar is the compact, lightweight way to regain freedom and balance. It targets your lower body, upper body, abs, and core without getting down on the floor. Best of all, the Nuva Bar is now on sale for just $99.99 plus free shipping and comes with interchangeable resistance bands with 7 full workouts. So if you want a trimmer waistline to look like you're 40 in your 60s, get the Nuva Bar and forget about crunches on the floor. Go to NuvaBar.com. That's NuvaBar.com.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.